session on Shri Vrajamandal Parikrama.
Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale
Srimate Radhanatha
Swami Niti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Gram Tarine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Gram Tarine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Give us just a minute. We'll be back in a second, right?
Hare Hare Krishna. We welcome all of our YouTube Live, our Facebook Live, and our listeners over Zoom to this day 9 of Shri Vrajamandal Parikrama. We will be performing Giriraj Parikrama today. And Shri Giriraj Parikrama is, there are a lot of Leela Sthalis that we have to see. There's a lot of places that we have to go. So we are doing it in 2 days. So today is going to be day 1 of Shri Giriraj Parikrama.
We'd like to thank and congratulate the devotees for participating in the quiz from yesterday on YouTube and Facebook. We'd like to thank the following devotees: Flavia, Shri Lekha Mataji, Soumya Mataji, Bhakti Priya, Saroja Mukhi Indu Lekha Mataji, Lalita Gompa Mataji, Rasika Mataji, Hari Prasad Prabhu, and Lakshmi Priya. Thank you so much for participating in the quiz. The answers to the quiz are also sent on the Zoom or the WhatsApp groups if you want to verify your answers with the correct answers.
And we are very grateful to Ranjani Gopika Mataji for so wonderfully posting all the answers every day over the WhatsApp group. So thank you so much, Ranjani Gopika.
And thank you, Devyangi Mataji and Prem Vikas Prabhu, for posting the quiz questions. So yesterday, we arrived at Shri Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda, Shri Giriraj, and Shri Radha Kunda. They fall within the 5th of the 12 forests, which is Vrindavan. Of these 12 forests, the forest of Vrindavan is considered to be not only the most sacred, but also the largest. Within this Vrindavan forest is the most intimate and confidential pastimes of divine love that took place at this place of Shri Giriraj. So today we'll perform the Shri Giriraj Govardhan Parikrama today and tomorrow, so that we can properly glorify all the beautiful places, take darshan, take bath, offer arti at these most wonderful Leela Sthalis of Lord Krishna. Today we'll discuss about the appearance of Shri Giriraj, then Kusum Sarovar, Manasi Ganga, Haridev Temple, Danaghati, Aniyor, and Govinda Kund. So we request today, all of you, if you really want to immerse ourselves in this experience, then if you can bring a bowl of water, and in that way, whenever we go to a kunda or a sarovar, or a river, holy river, during this Giriraj Parikrama, we can, in our minds, use that water, transform that water, and sprinkle 3 drops, and we can understanding, meditating on these wonderful, beautiful sarovars and kundas.
Also, another thing that we can do is if we can keep some ghee lamps ready so that whenever we come to these places, we can offer arati to these places. So please um, let us keep some lamps ready. Let's keep a bowl of water ready so that we can perform this parikrama very, very wonderfully, actually experience this parikrama
in 4D. Okay, next slide, please. As you can see, this is where we are, the yellow one. This is the Giriraj Parikrama that we are doing. We came all the way from Vrindavan and all the way, all of the one, and down one of the petals of the lotus flower, and then from to Talavan and Madhuvan and all these different Kumudvan. And then now we are coming to Shri Giriraj Parikrama. Ki Jai. Next slide, please. This is the details of the path and the temples that we will visit on the way to Shri Giriraj Govardhan. We'll start from near Radha Kunda and we'll end at Radha Kunda, but from near, right after that, we'll
start from our camp, right where we are, which is around 1.5 kilometers from Kusum Sarovar. So that's where we will start our parikrama.
Yes. Okay, next slide, please. Jai Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. This is the Shri Giriraj Darshan. Beautiful Shri Giriraj. Let's understand the pastime of appearance of Shri Giriraj and then we'll go forward from there. Next slide, please. This Giriraj, we can go to the previous one for some time. Thank you. Situated in the middle of the vast Vrindavan forest is this transcendental mountain, which is Govardhan. And on the slopes of this Govardhan mountain, transcendental mountain, Krishna, he enjoyed innumerable childhood pastimes. He was surrounded by his most confidential associates, surrounded by the gopis, cowherd boys of Vrindavan. Govardhan, also it's known as Shri Giriraj. He's the king of all mountains. Giri means mountains, Raj means king. And it's in the sacred center of Vrajadham. As you can see in the whole lotus flower, Giriraj is right in the middle. And Giriraj is not only a great devotee of Krishna, but he's also identified as a natural form of Krishna because Krishna manifested as Govardhan at one point of time. So Govardhan, the name, next slide, please. It has 2 primary translations. In the literal meaning, Govardhan, Go means cows, and Vardhan means nourishment. So Govardhan means the hill that provides nourishment to the cows. Another meaning of Go is the senses, and Vardhana means to increase. So the name of Govardhan is also translated by Krishna's devotees is that which increases the senses, their attraction to Krishna. So in this connection, Govardhan is increasing the attraction of our sense gratificatory senses to Krishna. So it's transforming sense gratification to Krishna's gratification. From lust, it's transforming to love. Indrer pritivancha tare boli kam. Krishner pritivancha tare boli prem. Dhare prema naam. Which means that if we are trying to satisfy our own senses, indriya pritivancha, if we have the desire to satisfy our senses, that is called lust, tarabuli kam. But Krishner indriya pritivancha, if we are trying to satisfy Krishna's senses, dhare premanam, that is defined as love. So Shri Govardhan is one who increases our attraction of the senses to Krishna and therefore transforms our lust into love. In this connection, it is said that, of course, Govardhan blesses the devotee by increasing our devotion. And so if one resides in the foothills of Govardhan Hill, all of the senses, they become more and more inclined to perform eternal service to Krishna. Giriraj, actually, in the spiritual world, it descended from Lord Krishna's transcendental abode, Sri Goloka Vrindavan, to Vrajadham on this earth planet. And when he descended from Goloka Vrindavan to Vrajadham, he came with the caves, the pure lakes, the ponds, different minerals, the red ochre mineral called Gairika, that is very, very useful in the service of the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha Krishna. So Giriraj Govardhan is non-different from Krishna in Tattva, yet he is considered to be Haridasavaryo, the best amongst all the servants of Hari. Next slide, please. Krishna, he lifted the Govardhan hill in order to curb this pride of Indra, who is the king of heavens. When he was just a 7-year-old boy, Lord Krishna, he held the enormous Govardhan hill on the little finger of his left hand for 7 days and 7 nights without keeping it down. Next slide, please. In this way, if we see the entire Govardhan hill, it's envisioned to be in the shape of a peacock that is resting with its head tucked into its side. And the peacock's face is considered to be the beautiful Kusum Sarovar that we will go today. Its neck is considered to be Manasi Ganga. Next slide, please. If you see, you can see the peacock much more clearly. The mouth is Mukharavinda. In Govinda Lilamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that its 2 eyes are Radha Kunda and Shama Kunda, and the end of its tail is Puchari.
So there is a village actually which is called as Puchri, which we will go tomorrow. It comes right after Govinda Kund. So today we will be walking from Kusum Sarovar. So if you can understand, like here we are just trying to give you a visual, understanding of Giriraj. But please understand that the face of the peacock is actually not the way it is shown in the picture. It's supposed to be tucked into the stomach. So it comes like that, the face is coming down like this. So then, Radha Kund, Shamkunda, the eyes of the peacock, the neck is Manasi Ganga, the face of the peacock is Kusum Sarovar, where we will go to. Govinda Kund comes, in between the entire tail, and the right at the tip of the tail is Puchri, where we will go to tomorrow. So this is the entire, Govardhan that is shaped in the form of a peacock. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Lal Ki Jai.
So the pastime of Shri Giriraj Govardhan is, next slide please, that in the land of Shalmali Dvipa, there was a great mountain called Dronachal. And the wife of this great mountain, Dronachal, gave birth to a son named Govardhan. That's how Shri Giriraj Govardhan came from spiritual world to the material world. And at the time of Govardhan's birth, all the demigods, they appeared in the sky. They showered flowers upon him. These great mountains, which were led by the Himalayas and Sumeri, they came there, offered their respects. Then they performed Parikrama of Govardhan and accepted him as their king. All of these different great mountains, even greater than Himalayas, even greater than Mount Sumeru. And then they offered such nice prayers, praising Govardhan, being grateful for having descended from Goloka Vrindavan, and then described him the crown jewel of Vraja. Then at the beginning of Satya Yuga, the great sage Pulastya Muni, he paid a visit to Shalmali Dvipa. And when he saw this beautiful Govardhan hill, the son of Dronachal, covered with these lovely creepers, flowers, rivers, caves, There were birds which were chirping. And the sage, he felt, this hill is capable of giving liberation. So he went to Dronachal. Dronachal immediately offered respects to Pulastya Muni and inquired, what service can I render? Pulastya Muni told, well, Dronachal, I am from Kashi, Banaras, and I'm on a pilgrimage to all these different holy places. He also said, even though the sacred river Ganges, it flows through Kashi, there is no beautiful hill there. So he then asked Dronachal, I want your son Govardhan so that he could perform the austerities sitting on the top of this hill of Govardhan. When Dronachal heard this request, he was broken hearted. He was not willing to part with his son. He started to shed tears just at the thought of separation from Govardhan, his beloved. But with a heavy heart, in order to please Pulatsya Muni, Dronachal gave him permission.
So then Govardhan then agreed to go with Pulatsya Muni, but he said that I have one condition. And then Pulatsya Muni said, yes, what condition do you have? And then Giriraj Govardhan said that my condition is that I will come with you, but you should not put me down. The place where you put me down, I will stay there and I will not move. So later you cannot blame me. So then Pulastya Muni said, no problem, you come with me. Next slide, please. So Pulastya Muni, it is said that he carried Shri Giriraj, and Giriraj allowed, Pulastya Muni to be carried like this. So Pulastya Muni was carrying Shri Giriraj, and then carrying Giriraj, he left for Kashi. And by the will of Providence, it is said that Pulastya Muni was passing through Sri Vrindavan Dham, Vraja Dham, on his way to Kashi. And Govardhana, he knew that this is the eternal place that he needs to stay in and not in Kashi. So Govardhan arranged, by the divine will of the Lord, by his mystic potency, Govardhan arranged that Pulastya Muni had to go and answer nature call very, very urgently. He had to go to, answer nature call. So then he just quickly put Govardhan in Vrajadham, and he went to the side of the river, and he, answered nature's call, and he came back. He wanted to lift Govardhan, and Govardhan said, now I'm not going from here. I told you, you can't put me down. You put me down here, no? Now you go. I'm staying here. I'm not going. So then Pulastya Muni got very angry. Hey, this was not the deal. You said you'll come with me to Kashi. And Giriraj reminded, even I had a deal. I also told you, wherever you keep me down, I will stay there only. Why you had to put me down over here? And then Pulastya Muni said, oh my Giriraj, okay, so now I'm cursing you that from today, you will reduce every day by the size of one mustard seed. And there's a very specific reason why Pulastya Muni gave this curse. This curse was actually a benediction upon Govardhan also, because this happened in Satya Yuga, if you remember. So it is said that Govardhan at this time was 115 kilometers, which is 64 miles long, 72 kilometers wide, and 29 kilometers high. That was how high Giriraj Govardhan was. But now Giriraj Govardhan is only 80 feet high. He's only just 80 feet high, at its highest point, that too. And it is said that after 10,000 years of more advancement into Kali Yuga, Govardhan would have completely disappeared from the face of the earth. So that Govardhan is also decreasing in size because of his separation from Krishna. That is another explanation. But the reason why Giriraj wanted to also, come down in size, so that by the time that Krishna comes in Dwapar Yuga, so that Krishna can nicely lift Giriraj and give protection to Vrindavan. That was why Giriraj wanted to also reduce in size. So this is the divine will of the Lord. So Pulastya Muni then offered his obeisances to Giriraj. Next slide, please. And he then left for Kashi Dham. Next slide, please. So Pulastya Muni, like this, he brought Shri Giriraj Govardhan Lal, he brought him to Shri Vrajadham. Jai. Next slide, please.
So then Krishna, one day, he convinced Nanda Baba why we should worship Indra. Let's worship Govardhan. Govardhan is the one who gives all protection to us, all of the supplies to us, resources to us. And he then convinced Nanda Baba, the cowherdman, that not Indra, even though he's in charge of rain. So Krishna told that Govardhan Hill is supplying so many necessities. Let's worship Govardhan. The Vrajbasis, they immediately agreed to Krishna. They've been doing this tradition of worshipping Nanda Maharaj to Indradev for centuries, for years together. But Krishna said, okay, we'll do it. And he carried all of the arrangements, grandly worshipped Giriraj. Next slide, please. Offered the hill so many different opulent offerings, and this whole festival began of worshipping Shri Giriraj. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, they assembled together, keeping the cows in the front. They began to, next slide, please. They began to circumambulate Govardhan Hill in this way. And then the gopis, they also dressed themselves very luxuriantly and sat in bull carts, like we are seeing here. Next slide, please. Then the cowherd men, after they worshipped Govardhan Hill, Indra became very angry. What? My tradition is being broken? So then he sent torrents of rain upon Vrindavan. He invoked the Samvartaka cloud. This cloud is used for the destruction of the universe. At that point, at the end of the yugas, millenniums, Brahma's end of day, that time these Samvartaka clouds are used, and they are so thick that even if today these Samvartaka clouds come, a plane cannot pass through them, through these clouds. They were so thick. And then Indra asked them to pour rain. Each drop of rain was like a pillar. It was pillars of water which were dropping down as rain. Next slide, please. Then so much rain, so much winds, everything was just going helter-skelter in Vrindavan. Next slide, please. And so many in different ways, this Govardhan was plunged into water, almost. Next slide, please. But the inhabitants of Vrindavan and their animals were sheltered under the Govardhan hill. Krishna, with his little finger of his left hand, very effortlessly lifted Shri Giriraj Govardhan. And they stayed there, everyone, 7 days, 7 nights, without being disturbed by hunger, thirst, any other discomfort. And they were just astonished how Krishna is holding up this mountain with the little finger of his left hand. And seeing this extraordinary mystic power of Krishna, Indra, who is the king of heaven, was thunderstruck and baffled. I'm showering such rains, nothing is happening to him. So he immediately calls for the clouds and said, let's stop. This is something different that's going on here. So we'll stop the narration at this point and start our Parikrama of Giriraj. We'll continue the next part of the pastime of what happened at Shri Govinda Kund, where the rest of the pastime manifests. So we'll start the Govardhan Parikrama at this point, meditating on this wonderful picture of Krishna holding the Govardhan hill and all the Vrajvasis inside. What happened next? Stay tuned. We'll know today at the end of day 1 of the Parikrama near Govinda Kund. Next slide, please. Here, let's meditate on this form of Shri Girivaradhari, Krishna lifting the Govardhan hill.
Just like how we are all always suffering, we feel that the suffering of this material world is, coming down upon us as mountains. Mountain is like coming down upon us. So let us meditate that Krishna is the lifter of that mountain. That Krishna will lift up all the worry, the mountain of worry that is surrounding us, the mountain of anxiety that is surrounding us, the mountain of uncertainty that is surrounding us. Krishna will lift all of that. So with this meditation, with this picture of Krishna in our heart, let us start our parikrama.
Haribo.
Next slide, please.
Avashya Rakhibe Krishna.
Haribo. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Dhari ki Jai.
All of these 7 days and 7 nights, so many different pastimes occurred right below Govardhan hill. Everyone was looking at Krishna, just gazing, even the cows, the cowherd boys. And there Balaram is seeing, he's enjoying what the Brajbasis, how they are so attracted to Krishna. He knows everyone is looking at Krishna. But where is Krishna looking? Balaram knows. He was looking at Srimati Radharani. Krishna is just gazing at Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is shy under this Govardhan hill. So many different pastimes occurred. And as Krishna gazed at Srimati Radharani, his hand started trembling in love. And Giriraj Govardhan started trembling. And all the Brajvasis, whoa, 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 Giriraj Govardhan is falling. And so Balaram arranged, hide Lady Radharani, Srimati Radharani.
That's what
from
we see
Krishna's
here
vision.
in this picture.
And Balaram is worried that Krishna, in his ecstasy, may lose sight of lifting Govardhan hill. And he arranged to hide Srimati Radharani from Krishna's sight. Such wonderful, beautiful pastimes were occurring right under Govardhan hill. And there are other pastimes that we will hear in a short while.
Next slide, please.
So there are so many different kinds of parikramas. When we start the Giriraj Govardhan Parikrama, we can walk by foot. We can see some of the devotees are walking without any footwear. Some walk with footwear as well. But it's without footwear that we are walking. It's recommended that we walk without footwear. So it's better if we start early in the morning so that before the heat starts coming in, we stop. We are able to complete the parikrama before then. Typically, it takes between 5 to 7 hours. There are Brajbasis who do Braj Mandal Parikrama every day. They'll go half from one village to the half of the parikrama to another village and then back again next day. Or we can do 108 Dandavat Parikrama. Below, we can see one Dandavat Parikrama that this devotee is doing. They do Dandavat Parikrama. Or 108 Dandavat Parikrama on the top right. This devotee is having 108 stones and he is keeping, as he's doing the Dandavat, he's taking one stone from one end and putting it on the other end, extending his arm, then coming back 108 times. Then he goes forward. That's 108 Dandavat Parikrama that he is doing. Or we can do, or Matajis can also do the Dandavat Parikrama like we see on the top, bottom right.
So the Dandavat Parikrama, those who do it, especially the 108 Dandavat Parikrama, these devotees, they just live in Govardhan maybe for 7-8 months together and they complete their parikrama in that way. So it's a very, very tough kind of a austerity that they do. But there are devotees, when they are doing the parikrama, they also carry a pot of milk. And they keep dropping, like drop of milk, and then while they're walking they carry that pot of milk, so that they are doing like a milk abhishek parikrama, milk parikrama it's called, like they're bathing Shri Giriraj in that milk, like an abhishek. That's the mood with which they do this kind of parikrama. So there are several kinds of parikrama. We will do the walking parikrama, and it's definitely not recommended to wear any footwear during the Govardhan Parikrama especially, we are not allowed to wear any footwear. Socks are okay, but not any kind of footwear, because Govardhan is Krishna himself. We cannot be with any footwear under the foothills of Shri Giriraj.
So mostly we are doing the walking parikrama, but this is a Manas parikrama. So you can be doing any parikrama. You can do a Dandavat parikrama in your mind, and Shri Giriraj will accept it.
Hari Bol.
Next slide, please.
So when we are, this is us doing the parikrama. You can see here, Prabhu is here ecstatically chanting, and we starting our parikrama. So we offer our obeisances in front of our camp where we start the parikrama. We offer our obeisances. So please repeat after us. Namaste Girirajaya Govardhana iti namine Ashesha klesha nashaya Paramanandadayine. So we start our walk after offering our obeisances, and we start walking. Next slide, please. So the first place that we come to, this Giriraj Govardhan right now, it is a 25-kilometer walk. So today we will go half the distance. I mean, little less than half the distance we will go today. So we come first to Kusum Sarovar. So Kusum Sarovar is also called as Suman Sarovar. Kusum means flowers. Suman also means flowers, because there are beautiful flower-bearing trees around this particular lake. So the trees that bear flowers like juhi, like jasmine, chameli, yuthi, mallika, champa, these are the different kinds of flowers that grow around this Kusum Sarovar. Of course, in the Kusum Sarovar itself, there are water lilies, there's lotuses. So this place is very, very flowery, very, very, very beautiful. So Kusum Sarovar, as we can see here, it is set against the backdrop of this, exotic palatial building in sandstone. So these palatial buildings, they depict, on the ceilings, if we go there, on the ceilings, we can see beautiful, beautiful paintings of Shri Radha and Krishna's pastimes. They basically say that how Shri Radha and Krishna would come here to enjoy their most intimate and sweet pastimes. Next slide, please. It is said, so as we see here, this is Shri Kusum Sarovar. So in terms of spiritual importance, this Sarovar is very, very special. So when we are going down the steps of this Sarovar, please, if you all have the water bowl in front of you, please take some water, sprinkle on your head, and please, take your ghee lamp and offer an arti here at the, steps of this Sarovar. Please offer arti here to Kusum Sarovar ki jai. So it is said that this place, Srimati Radharani and her girlfriends, her sakhis, next slide please, they would come and pluck flowers. They would enjoy very, very intimate pastimes with Shri Krishna. Next slide please. Srimati Radharani would, next slide please. Srimati Radharani would pluck all these beautiful flowers and she would make exotic garlands for Shri Krishna. And she would, when she would make the garlands, next slide please, it is said that Krishna would also come and help her. And they would make the garlands, and sometimes both of them would wear the same garland like this. So very beautifully they would decorate each other with these garlands over here. And then it is also said that when Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is the combined form of Shri Radha Krishna, when he came to Kusum Sarovar, he bathed here in this beautiful lake. So in that mood, we can enter the waters of this Kusum Sarovar and take a bath here. So when we are sprinkling the water in our head, please let us, imagine that we are at Kusum Sarovar, we are taking a dip in Kusum Sarovar, and please do offer arti here. So let us know what is the benefit of bathing at Kusum Sarovar, that anyone who bathes in the cooling and soothing waters of the Kusum Sarovar will achieve pure love of Godhead and will gain entrance into the loving and the most intimate pastimes of Shri Radha and Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Kusum Sarovar ki Jai. Next slide, please. Now we walk a little more distance. We come from Kusum Sarovar, we walk around 2 kilometers. We come to this place, which is very, 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 very beautiful, to Manasi Ganga. Manasi Ganga is a very, very, very sacred lake. It's actually one of the largest lakes in the Govardhan area.
It's said that the waters of Manasi Ganga, they are not different than Mother Ganga herself. In fact, it's considered to be even better because one who bathes in Ganga River is purified of all the sins, but one who bathes in Manasi Ganga is not only purified of sins, but will also achieve prema bhakti. This is the highest platform of pure loving devotion to Krishna. How did Manasi Ganga manifest? It is said one time a demon, next slide please, was sent by Kamsa. Next slide please. To next slide. Yes, one time a demon was sent by Kamsa to kill Krishna, who assumed the form of a calf, and he was called as Vatsasura. Vatsa means calf, and Asura, Vat means demon, the demon, calf demon. He hid amongst the cattle herds of Krishna. And then when Krishna realized, whoa, this is a demon, this is Vatsasura, he killed the demon in the form of a calf. But because he had killed the demon when he was in the form of a calf, the cowherd boys, they refused to play with Krishna. They asked, you are contaminated right now. You killed a calf. Krishna said, yeah, but he was a demon. Yeah, but he was a calf nonetheless. So unless you purify yourself, you're not gonna play. So then Krishna said, all right, I will purify myself, but I don't want to go to Ganga and take a bath. So Krishna, he meditated upon Ganga within his mind, Manasa. Manas means mind. And from his mind, she manifested before him in the form of Manasi Ganga. Next slide, please. And so Krishna manifested Manasi Ganga in Vrajadham on the foothills of Govardhan. Then Krishna took bath in the waters of Manasi Ganga, and all the cowherd friends, everyone was very happy. In fact, there is another pastime where, on another occasion, Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, and all these different residents of Vrindavan, they heard wonderful glories of Mother Ganga. So hearing about this potency of bathing in the Ganges, all of these residents of Vraja, they decided, we want to make a pilgrimage to River Ganga and take baths. So all this elaborate arrangements that were made for the journey, Krishna said, why are you making such elaborate arrangements? There's no need to go out of Vraja to take bath in Ganges. Ganges is present in Vraja itself. But Nanda Maharaj, Vrajvasis thought, no, Krishna is just a small child. He doesn't fully understand it. Krishna kept insisting. Then Nanda Baba relented. Then accompanied by all these different inhabitants of Vrindavan, Nanda Maharaj and all the residents, they followed Krishna to the middle of Govardhan Hill. And Krishna said, come, see Baba, see, here is Ganga. And so Krishna arrived at Manasi Ganga. River Ganga, personified, appeared from the water and offered prayers to Krishna. And then everyone understood, oh, this is Ganga. We can see in the middle of Manasi Ganga, when Krishna is bringing all the Brajvasis, he is coming out, Mother Ganga is coming out to pay obeisances to Krishna. Then everyone took bath in Manasi Ganga. This Manasi Ganga is very special, especially because not only everyone else bathed in this water, not only because it's Ganga, it's also Krishna bathed in her waters. Shri Radha Krishna had so many different pastimes. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu took bath here as well. Next slide, please. This is the wonderful Manasi Ganga. So let us also enter the waters of Shri Manasi Ganga very respectfully drink the nectarian water which has the lotus feet dust of Krishna and Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Ki Jai. So if you have water in a bowl, let's sprinkle few drops.
Or take a bath.
Or take a bath. In Manasi Ganga.
And please offer an arati here at Manasi Ganga. Please offer a ghee lamp here at Manasi Ganga. Next slide, please. Krishna and Srimati Radharani had very, very sweet pastimes here at Manasi Ganga. One time the gopis, they had, pots filled with butter and they wanted to, go across the Manasi Ganga. And Krishna came disguised as a boatman and he said, I'll take you all, let's go. So then Krishna came and he created some waves in the Manasi Ganga. And he started rocking the boat and he said, oh, this boat has become very heavy. You have to, lighten the boat a little bit. So, please lighten the boat. So then the gopis, they started throwing their, the butter and everything. Krishna said, don't throw it to Manasi Ganga, give me. Don't throw there, give me. So then the gopis immediately understood that this boatman is Krishna. So like this, lots of sweet pastimes, nectarian pastimes took place in the Manasi Ganga waters. So let us, offer our heartfelt prayers here at Manasi Ganga. Jai Shri Manasi Ganga ki Jai. Next slide, please. From Manasi Ganga, we come to this very, very, very beautiful temple of Shri Haridev. This is the temple of Shri Haridev. So please keep our arati ready because this is a very, very special deity of Shri Haridev ji. It is said that this temple was established by Krishna's great-grandson, that is Vajranabh Maharaj, 5,000 years ago. And Haridev is one of the 4 presiding deities of Vrindavan. It is said we already took darshan, remember, of Keshav Dev ji in Mathura, Haridev in Govardhan, Govinda Dev in Kamyavan, and Baladev in, in Dauji. So these are the 4 devs that we worship here in Vrajadham. So Krishna here, Haridev, next slide, please. We will see that he is actually like the lifter of Sri Giriraj. He is having his left hand in the up in the air. You can see that this is Sri Krishna lifting Sri Giriraj. He's called as Sri Haridev, Bhagavan Ki Jai. The way this deity manifested is a very, very sweet and special pastime. It is said that one time Krishna, promised the gopis that he's going to come and meet with them. And Srimati Radharani and the gopis, they were waiting for Krishna. Krishna didn't come. Next slide, please. And the gopis, they kept waiting. And, the gopis are waiting and, Krishna is not coming. So Srimati Radharani, she started chanting, Haridev, Haridev, Haridev. She just started, calling out lovingly like this. Over and over again, she started repeating. Next slide, please. And when she was reciting Haridev, Haridev like this, we see there behind Haridev has manifested. So this deity of Krishna, he has in his right hand, he's holding the flute, and in his left hand, he is lifting Giriraj. So this is the beautiful deity of Sri Haridev that Srimati Radharani herself manifested just by remembering the deity manifested. And, he appeared to her, and Srimati Radharani and the gopis would come every single day to worship this Haridev deity. They would come and worship him very, very lovingly. Next slide, please.
So it is said that there are 4 Dev in Vrajadham, and we'll talk about them on the way.
So here we see how, Srimati Radharani manifested, Sri Haridev ji Bhagavan ki Jai. So make sure we are offering lamps here, ghee lamp here to Sri Haridev Prabhu. And here, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, when he visited Sri Haridev temple, when Mahaprabhu took darshan of Sri Haridev, at that point, Mahaprabhu was in so much ecstasy because we should know who Mahaprabhu is. Mahaprabhu is the combination of Sri Radha and Krishna. So it is Srimati Radharani, and she could remember, as Gauranga Mahaprabhu could remember that I manifested this deity. So Mahaprabhu had special attraction to Haridev, and it is said that Mahaprabhu, next slide please, when he saw Haridev, He danced and danced and danced for hours. And the Brajbasis, when they saw Mahaprabhu dancing, you can see that Haridev is standing there and Mahaprabhu is dancing in ecstasy. And the Brajbasis were completely shocked that for so many hours, Mahaprabhu was just dancing so ecstatically, so beautifully. Every limb of Mahaprabhu's transcendental body was, Mahaprabhu appears like a kadamba flower, so beautiful, so ecstatic to just watch him dance. Jai Shri Haridev ki Jai.
Next slide, please. So now from Haridev temple, we continue our Parikrama, Dandavat Parikrama, walking Parikrama, however you want to Danaghati. This meaning of the word is Dan and Ghati. Dan means donation and Ghati means valley. The valley where Krishna collected donation of butter and milk sweets from the gopis here.
We can see here Krishna has his hand forward. Give. If you don't give, you can't pass. So he would not let the gopis pass if they would not give him butter and, yogurt and all milk sweets.
So here, next slide, please. At this place of Danaghati, again, this is another pastime, the same pastime depicted in a different way. Krishna would not allow the gopis to pass unless they gave butter. Next slide, please. This is another, he is negotiating with the gopis, or gopis are negotiating with him. But Krishna, is not giving up. He wants his butter and milk sweets. He won't let them pass otherwise. Next slide. So this is here there's a beautiful temple of Mukharavinda. Mukha Arvinda. Mukha means mouth, Arvinda means lotus. Mukharavinda is the lotus mouth of Shri Giriraj. This majestic temple, it's made of sandstone. It contains the lotus mouth of Giri Govardhan.
Right.
Pilgrims, all the devotees who visit here, they bring offerings of milk and sweets to feed the Mukharavinda Shila. Next slide, if you please go. 2, we can see Mukharavinda Shila in the front and the Mukut Shila on top of him. Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai.
So the Mukut Shila means like the crown of Giriraj. So that's why you see that it is tall and long, and the round one in the front, that is the lotus mouth of Shri Giriraj Govardhan Lal ki Jai. So please offer a lamp here. Please offer a ghee lamp here and beg for blessings from Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai.
Next slide, please. So we continue walking from Mukharavinda. This is the village of Aniyor. If you see if you pinch it out, the green sign with white text that is written here, that says Aniyor. This is the village of Aniyor. In fact, the cowherd men who were headed by Nanda Maharaj, when they performed Govardhan worship and when they were circumambulating the hill, Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men, they consulted so many different brahmanas and started worshipping Govardhan hill. They were starting to chant Vedic hymns, offering bhogas after bhogas. Carts after carts of bhogas were coming from the village of Vrindavan and being offered to Sri Govardhan hill. Next slide, please. And as this was happening, as we can see, so many offerings are being offered to Govardhan hill. As this was happening, right then, Krishna assumed an unprecedented, huge form to instill faith in the cowherd men, saying, I am Govardhan. And he started eating all these abundant offerings. And then we can see that Krishna is down below, Krishna is up there as Govardhan as well. And then he started offering obeisances to himself, in one sense, and saying, just see how this hill has appeared in person, which is Krishna himself. He assumed the form of Govardhan in that sense. and he has bestowed mercy upon him. And the Krishna so there were two Krishnas. One assumed the form of Govardhan, one Krishna who is still there. He's paying obeisances to himself. And then as Krishna in the form of Giriraj was accepting these offerings, he started saying, Aniyor, Aniyor, bring me more, bring me more. Aniyor means bring more. And he started eating all the offerings. And everyone from the village was bringing offerings. All the offerings were getting over. There was nothing left, no bhoga left to prepare. The bhoga for Krishna, none of the arrangements in any Vraja. And everyone was, our houses are empty. Now we cannot cook anymore. But Krishna was still continuing to say, Aniyor, Aniyor, bring me more. So one Brajbasi, he got a tulsi leaf and just put on top of the offerings. And Krishna accepted the tulsi leaf, and then he was completely satisfied. He stopped saying, bring me more. So therefore it is said that when we offer bhoga to Krishna, we should always offer tulsi leaf, because that satisfies Krishna like nothing else. And what is it that what kind of bhoga can we offer to Krishna? It's something very simple, but if tulsi is there, then Krishna will accept it. He will be satisfied. Next slide, please. That is why Govardhan Hill is considered to be Krishna as well as a devotee of Krishna.
So that's why this village, can we go back to the previous slide, please? So that's why this village is called as Aniyor Gram, which means the village of Aniyor, because Krishna here is the place where Krishna ate so much and he kept saying, bring more, bring more. That's why this village is called as Aniyor. Jai Shri Aniyor Gram ki Jai. Then now we come to our next destination, which is Govinda Kund. Jai Shri Govinda Kund ki Jai. So this Govinda Kund is very, very special. Remember where we had stopped our narration in the beginning of the Parikrama? Now we'll continue from there, that Indra is super duper angry and he started showering the rains, and then 7 days, 7 nights, nothing happened. Next slide, please. The Samvartaka clouds, the heavy rains, they were not able to hurt or harm the Brajvasis. They were completely safe under Krishna's divine shelter, and Govardhan became like the umbrella over Braj. It is said that when Krishna lifted Govardhan, it is said that, like how Prabhu explained in the beginning, that every drop of rain that was falling was actually like, big columns, were falling like that. Imagine how it must be impacting Giriraj. But when Giriraj was lifted by Krishna, because Krishna was touching Giriraj, it is said that Giriraj felt as if, tiny droplets were falling on him. It was like he was experiencing bliss. He was in ecstasy. And the trees of Giriraj, they were not even bending down with this, huge drops of rains coming, because Giriraj was in so much ecstasy that, the trees were like the hair on his body, and they were standing erect. They were standing on end. They were not getting burned. They were not bending. Nothing was happening to Giriraj because Krishna was holding. Krishna's divine touch was there with Sri Giriraj. Next slide, please. So then Indra, kept trying for 7 days, 7 nights. And then he was saying, what is happening? How is, Krishna doing this? How is he able to really, protect all the Brajbasis? Next slide, please. And then Indra was completely, he was able to realize that this is not an ordinary person. This is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I did such a grave offense. And Indra was so ashamed to go directly in front of Krishna. So Indra approached Mother Surabhi, because the cows are so dear to Krishna. So Indra went to Mother Surabhi and said, please, my dear mother, you please plead to Krishna on my behalf. You appeal to Krishna on my behalf to forgive me. I don't even have any face to come in front of Krishna. So Surabhi, Mother Surabhi, she has the heart of a loving mother, and she saw the sincerity that Indra was genuinely repenting his mistake. So Mother Surabhi immediately came to Krishna and said, Krishna, please forgive Indra. Please forgive him. And Krishna, he can never, not do what mother cows, what they demand. So Krishna immediately forgave Indra. Next slide, please. And Indra was forgiven by Krishna. And you can see here Mother Surabhi is sitting there, and Krishna in the beginning was not looking at Indra. But then on the appeal of Mother Surabhi, Indra was forgiven by Sri Krishna. Next slide, please. And when Indra was forgiven like this, Krishna said, okay, I forgive you, no worries. But then Indra said, I want to serve you, my lord, so please accept this. That he asked Airavata, Indra's 5 trunk elephant. Airavata has 5 trunks. So Airavata was asked by Indra that go and fetch waters from the Akash Ganga, bring the Akash Ganga waters. Next slide, please. And then Indra did Abhishek of, he bathed Krishna in the waters from the Akash Ganga. As we can see from the trunks of Airavata, he's showering the waters of Akash Ganga, the celestial Ganga, on Krishna's head. And then Krishna was given a nice bath, an Abhishek by Indra like this. And at the end of the Abhishek, so by that water which washed the body of Krishna, this Govinda Kund was formed. Next slide, please. So this Govinda Kund was formed. You can see the place on top of the trees where Krishna was sitting with Indra, and then the water trickled down after Krishna's bath and came and formed this beautiful Govinda Kunda. And this place, this lake is called Govinda Kunda because Indra also coronated Krishna with this name as Govinda, which means that one who gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses, and one who is the protector of the cows and the senses. Next slide, please. So stay here, please stay here. So let us walk down to the, go down the steps. Please take a bath in this Govinda Kunda, at least sprinkle water in the Govinda Kunda on our head, and please let us offer arati here and, take blessings from Sri Govinda Kunda, that this ceremonial bath of Krishna, that may this Govinda Kunda, this vision here of Indra bathing Krishna, may this eternally be manifest in our heart. With this prayer, let us offer our obeisances here and let us continue our walk. Next slide, please. So Srila Radharaman Maharaj, we can see here, he is giving beautiful class here. This was from last year. Maharaj is giving class at Govinda Kunda. This is the place where Madhavendra Puri sat also and did his bhajan. So Maharaj is sitting right there at the spot where Madhavendra Puri's sitting place is, and he's giving a very wonderful class here at Sri Govinda Kunda. Next slide, please.
This is some of our pictures at Govinda Kunda. After hearing from the class from Radharaman Maharaj, then we started walking. So this is right after Govinda Kund. This is the view of Shri Giriraj right after the Govinda Kund. Next slide, please. Here again, this is the blissful place of Shri Govinda Kund, where we start walking, we continue our walk. We will end our day 1 parikrama here, and we continue walking till we come to the next place that we will discuss tomorrow. Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki jai. Shri Govardhan Parikrama ki jai. Next slide, please. So this is where in Shri Giriraj Govardhan, it's right in the middle of the whirl of the lotus of Shri Vraja Mandal Parikrama, Shri Giriraj Govardhan. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. And so today we stopped, we started and then we stopped at Govinda Kund. We started at Kusum Sarovar and we stopped at Govinda Kund. We'll continue walking, we'll make a U-turn on the other side, and tomorrow we will see some of the temples that are left on this side and then go complete the Govardhan Parikrama tomorrow.
Next slide, please.
So today we went to Giriraj Parikrama day 1, starting from Kusum Sarovar, ending at Govinda Kund. On the way, we heard wonderful pastime of the appearance of Shri Giriraj and how Krishna saved the Rajbasis from Govardhan with the help of Govardhan Hill, and how he forgave Indra. So we'll end the presentation here today, and we will discuss different today's quiz questions
right after the bhajan.
Right after the bhajan. The bhajan is Govardhan Ashtakam, which is the 8 verses glorifying Shri Govardhan. It's also called Govardhan Vas Prarthana Dashakam. Actually, it's Dashakam, not Ashtakam. Sorry. It is the 10 verses which are glorifying the benefits of staying near Govardhan. Govardhan Vasa Prarthana. Allow us to stay in Govardhan Dham.
So because we are doing Parikrama, so we thought that we should sing this particular bhajan, which is very beautifully written by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Sri Vrajadham. And Das Goswami, he wrote this as a prayer to appeal to Sri Giriraj that please allow us to stay at your foothills. So we will sing this beautiful bhajan. Nijapati bhuja danda chhatra bhavam prapadya prati hatamagdrishtod danda devendra garbha Atula prithula shaila shreni bhupa priyame nijani katani vasam de govardhanatvam Pramada Vadana Leela Kandare Kandare Kare Raja Yati Namayuro Dvandvamasmir Amandam Iti Lila Kalanartham Lagnakasnadvayorme Nijani Katani Vasam Devi Govardhanatvam Anuvamamani Vedi Ratna Simhasano Viruga Jharadarasan Droni Sankhya Shurangai Sahavala Sakhi Khelayan Swapriyame Nijani Katani Vasam Devi Govardhanatvam Rasanidhi Navayuno Sakshinim Dana Kile Kruti Parimalavitham Shyamavidin Prakashya Rasika Varamulana Bodhavasnatlayane Nijani Katani Vasam Dehi Govardhanatvam Radhika Kundamatma Priya Sakham Iha Kante Narmana Likyapta Navayuga Yuga Kiras Tatra Pashyandro Nijani Katani Vasam De Govardhanatvam Sthala Jalatala Shashvait Puruha Chaya Yacha Prati Padamanukalam Hanta Samvardhayanga Trijagati Vijayagotram Sarthakam Khyapayante Nijanikatani Vasam Devi Govardhanatvam Surapati Krita Dirgha Drohado Gusharakshanava Navadriharusa Syantari Kurvadaiha Adhabakari Puruchay Datamana Drutam Me Nijani Katani Vasam De Govardhanatvam Giripahari Rasa Shri Haryati Imamritam Idam Uditam Shri Radhika Patranta Vrajanava Tilakatve Klipta Vedastotram Me Nijani Katani Vasam Devi Govardhanatvam Nija Janayuta Radha Krishna Maitri Rasanta Nara Pashu Pakshi Vrata Sankhyaka Data Adarnita Karunatvam Vamuri Krityantam Nijani Katani Vasam De Govardhanatvam Kadi Karunaina Shri Sachinandana Tvai Kapati Shatho Api Tvat Pridena Pitosmi Iti Kalu Mamaya Nijani Katani Vasam Devi Govardhanatvam Shakamasya Shrila Govardhanasya Kshiti Harakulavatur Ya Prayatna Dadhite Sa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Govardhan Vasa Prarthana Dashakam Ki Jai. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
ISKCON Vartaman Guru Vrind Ki
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's open the lines for questions or comments.
Before that, we'll just announce the quiz questions. We have 11 questions today. Jai. So first question, what is the meaning of Govardhan? Second, which places are said to be the face, neck, eyes and tail of Govardhan?
Third, who is Giriraj Govardhan's father and where did they reside? Fourth, why did Pulastya Muni curse Giriraj Govardhan? What was the curse?
Fifth, what pastimes were performed in Kusum Sarovar and what is the benediction offered to one who takes bath in Kusum Sarovar? Sixth, how did Manasi Ganga manifest?
Seventh, who are the four presiding devs of Vrajadham? How did the deity of Haridev manifest?
Ninth, what does Aniyor mean? 10th, who appealed to Lord Krishna on behalf of Indra?
11th, how did Govinda Kund manifest and how did it get its name?
Beautiful questions, Divyangi and Premvikas Prabhu. Thank you so much. So now let's please open the lines. We have Tulasi. Tulsi, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, Bhavita.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So I like that we went to Kusum Sarovar and Manasi Ganga. I see today in my TV that Manasi Ganga.
Oh, wonderful, Vita. We've been missing you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing.
And I also see that Radharani and Radharani and their Radharani Sakis was getting the Mansi Ganga and putting, making the river. Krishna, if Krishna doesn't have the gopis, how can the gopis make the river? Krishna make a magical and the so many who are the rivers like Yamuna river and Saraswati, they were coming and doing favors Radharani and Krishna.
Yes, Haribol. Very nice, Tulasi. Very, very nice.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you, Vita.
Haribol.
Haribol. Garima.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, all goes to Shri Prabhupada and Gurudev. Today we went to so many places which I didn't know. So we went to Giriraj Govardhan, Kusum Sarovar, Govinda Kund. We went to Govinda Kund and my mom went and brought some water from Govinda Kund and I sprinkled some water. But we brought it for the family, but my uncle didn't know, but so he threw that bottle in the trash.
Oh.
Yeah, but we have the dust of Vrindavan.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. So
I have one question that 8 gopis of Vrindavan.
Yes.
Lalita, Vishaka, Induleka, Champakalata, Tunga Vidya, Chitra
Rangadevi.
Sudevi, Rangadevi,
Mm-hmm.
and then Radharani.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 8 gopis. So I'm confused. I think there's 9 gopis because the Radharani is there. So is Radharani counted as the gopi? No.
She's the best gopi. There's a very beautiful song that we teach. When I was a Gurukul teacher in Mayapur, we used to teach little kids how to memorize the 8 gopis' names. So this is the song we used to teach. Tulasi leaf on Krishna's lotus feet. Tell me the names of the 8 gopis.
I know that.
Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Suchitra, Champakalata, Tungavidya. But Radharani is the best gopi.
My
So
song is
Radharani is the best gopi. So she doesn't fall under the Ashtasakis.
So you can say Radha Krishna have 8 gopis.
okay. I know one song to memorize these 8 gopis.
Mm-hmm.
Tulsi on top of Krishna's street. Tell me the names of the 8 gopis. Lalita, Vishaka, Induleka, Champakalata, Tungavidya, Chitra Sudevi, Rangadevi. Radharani is the chief gopi.
Yes. Haribol. Thank you, Beta. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to tell you that I, I I have now this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visits Vrindavan, and I saw now greeting the Haridev deity at Govardhan. So I'm coloring right now, and tomorrow I will show you.
Okay,
Haribol.
we look forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Beta. Haribol.
Haribol.
Okay. Rushan Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Ganga Pranam. I wanted to ask that can you tell something about Narad Kunda and Sankarshan Kunda?
Of what? Narad Kund and Sankarshan. Sankarshan Kund. Narad Kund is going to come tomorrow. We're going to cover Narad Kund tomorrow. But Sankarshan Kund is, there are actually many, many kundas on the way. So if we have to cover everything, it gets very difficult. But nonetheless, Sankarshan Kund is the place where Gopalji was found by Srila Madhavendra Puri. That is how it is explained that Sankarshan Kund is one of the kunds where, Lord Gopal was found by Sri Madhavendra Puri, near that kunda.
Okay,
That's
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Ganga Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranams. Bhakti Priya.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All
Dandavat
those to Shri
Pranam, beta.
Prabhupada. Today the class was so beautiful, and today also I got tears from my eyes. So beautiful, Mataji, and that Govinda Kund, Manasi Ganga, how it manifested there. So beautiful pastimes, and thank you very much for sharing these wonderful pastimes of Lord Radha and Krishna. And I
Thank you.
don't have any doubts because you have told very clearly.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Mataji, thank you for sharing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhakti Priya. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, Anjali, we feel so bad that you're not feeling too well. But after taking bath in Kusum Sarovar and Manasi Ganga, you're feeling cold and now feeling fresh. Haribol. Thank you so much for your beautiful comment. And we pray that you feel better very, very soon. Please take a lot of, hots, lot of soups, lots of liquids. And please, pray that you feel much, much better very, very soon. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Okay. If there are no more questions, we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you all